let me start with the feedback and what you can improve in this
Okay,
cycle.
just a minute. I will note down that.
Yes. Hmm. So first thing is like third party API. I mean, let me categorize this thing into two parts, or you can say, just a second.
This is Aranganambi. I'm basically from Chennai. I have around 4+ year of experience in automation and manual testing. So currently, I'm working in Saxoft Limited in Chennai organization. Previously, I have worked in iScrape Private, iScrape Software Solution, which is located in Bangalore. And my roles and responsibilities will be working with the team and understanding the requirements and preparing the test cases um, and updating my updates to the daily
Mm-hmm.
updates to the team, and responsible for functional and regression testing, and preparing daily status reports and planned to the actual progress of deliverables.
Okay. So parallelly, I'm writing down the point that you are lacking, or whatever point that I can tell you to improve or something like that. So I'm writing down all those points. Okay. So you are saying, so I mean, currently, uh, do you have any exposure in automation? Uh, uh, okay. So which language you are using? Your voice? No, no, no. Hello. Yeah, just fix it.
I'm audible now?
Yes, yes, completely
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
So
Java Abhishek.
okay. So yes, you are using Java.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, can you tell me your day-to-day activity? I mean, how you so suppose I mean, are you following Agile or which methodology you
Yeah.
using? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
following Agile
yes,
method.
yeah. So how you guys I mean proceed with Agile in your day-to-day activity as a
Yeah.
QA?
Yeah, actually, in the morning itself, we have a sync up call. So in the sync up call, we have a discussing any cousin we have, or any impediments, or any dependencies we need to, from the other team, other, or from the high level management. So
Mm-hmm.
we will discuss those kind of things. After we completed that sync up call,
Mm-hmm.
we have a one stand up call with the team members. So
Okay.
in the stand up call, we have discussing with what we have done yesterday and what we are going to do yesterday, sorry, today.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we have discuss also any impediments or any blocker we have, or any requirements we need to from inside our members. So that thing, after completing, I'm
Okay.
going to start my working for the any assigned task I have, or any incompleted task I have. So that will be I'm going to finish.
Okay. So have you, I mean, as you are saying, I mean, in the daily scrum, you used to express like what you have done yesterday and what you will be doing and what all challenges you are facing in all
Mm,
those tasks. Okay. So
yes,
have
yes.
you faced anything like that? I mean, how many days of sprint you are following?
Yeah, we are following a 2 week
Two
sprint.
weeks sprint, 14 days, I mean, 10 working
Yes.
days. Okay.
Yeah, 10 working days.
Okay. So have you faced anything like that? I mean, at very start of this sprint,
Mm,
developer start working on their task
yes,
and you guys or we as a QA start preparing our test cases. Correct?
yes, yes,
And have you ever experienced something like that? Developer deliver the story at the very end of that sprint. Like if this is the 14th day, they gave us the build on 11th or 12th day. So in
yes.
that case, what you used to do?
Yeah, actually, in that scenario, we are I'm not testing directly into the QA actually.
Okay.
So we are doing local testing also. So parallelly I'm testing with the developer what they have implemented at that time. So I have installed Visual Studio and something the setup in my local machine. So
Okay.
I get the branch and pull the latest code in my local machine. Then I will start my testing. So sometime it will helping lots of things because I have identified all those bugs in the local only. So it will fixed in the local level only.
Okay.
So
One question. So are you talking about the manual testing or automation?
I'm talking about manual testing
Manual testing. So
because
you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that is very new process. I mean, even I have seen that. So you are saying you used to take the pull of developers Git and
Yes,
okay,
developer will be sharing me the what
code
branch
base.
they, yeah, what
Okay.
branch they have currently
Mm-hmm.
working. So
Mm-hmm.
that branch I will check out in my Visual Studio. So
Mm-hmm.
after I will get the latest code what they have committed in the
Yes.
branch. So
Then
then I will run the local code in my machine in the local host. So
okay.
I will get the latest implementation in the
Mm-hmm.
local.
Got it.
So
Got it.
I will. So if I found any bugs, now I will directly report it to the
Developer.
developers also. Actually, few things I noticed. It will be some advantages we have. What advantages now?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, say for example, I have found two or three bugs in the local now. So I will raise the bug and directly assign to the developer's name. So developer will directly fix the issue and directly commit the code without any approval. So
Okay.
if we need to push the code into the QA or a stage environment like that now, we
Mm-hmm.
need some high level authority,
Correct.
sorry,
Correct.
high level
Understood.
approval.
Understood.
That's
Mhm.
why.
So, I
So
mean, I know, I mean, this process is very quick as
yes.
you used to execute or you used to run developers code on your local machine and you found out some defect on a
Mm,
UI or, I mean, whether backend or something like that, then you directly raise the developer, fix the same thing on the same branch or maybe on the other branch.
yes.
So, what are the disadvantages of those, I mean, this activity or this process?
Yeah, yeah, this process will be it will take very long time to um
Mm-hmm.
run the application, to launch the application.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have low internet connectivity or anything our ISP problem at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And if any configurable node version or Visual Studio, that version will be mismatched. Sometime it will be auto updated. Like
Mm-hmm.
that I'm facing lots of time. The Node.js was automatically updated to the current version. So that time what I will do now, I uninstall the current version and reinstalling the new version.
New version, yes.
And yeah,
So
and
apart from this infra level thing like the
yes,
versioning and apart from what you I mean what you find difficulties as a tester while testing that code in your local machine, because what
yeah,
I have seen,
mm,
developer has their own setting on their machine. I mean,
yeah,
whether you have set it, I mean, you have keep that setup on your machine. It's called developer machine. Okay,
yes,
so there
yes,
are some, I mean, environmental differences when you deploy the same thing on your separate staging environment or on your local machine. So there are
mm,
things that, because I have seen, whenever developer, whenever we as a QA found a defect and raise to the developer,
mm,
what used to happen, developer debug it and they start saying, okay, I'm unable to reproduce just because of some thing. Okay, but what used to happen, if I talk about the separate individual or independent environment, there we can identify. So I mean, how you take care of that, like, so do
yeah.
after running the code on local, do you have any other environment where you used to check each and everything after that, or
uh, Other environment means not other environment. First I will complete my testing in the local itself only. So
okay,
definitely I'm going to test in the QA environment only. because
Mhm.
you said before now, in the 12th day or 11th day, that time only they
Mhm.
have delivered the code into the deploy the code into the QAT na.
Mhm.
That time what you will do? So I will first check the what are the bugs I have found in the sprint time. So I
Mhm.
will first check that bugs will be reproducible or not in the QAT environment. Then
Mhm.
I will do the general one round of testing with the
Yes.
all browsers. So
Mhm.
that process I'm following.
Okay, so so this is like procedural thing, so I'm good with it. Now come to the testing part.
Okay.
So have you interacted with API testing too, or you haven't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For my project, I'm not interacting with the automation testing API, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Manually
testing with
testing.
manual testing only
Okay.
using Postman and Swagger.
Yes. So just
Mm.
tell me one thing. Suppose you in your project, you guys used to interact with third party APIs. Let's take
Okay.
the example of banking.
Yeah.
I have my project and it used to interact with one of the banking organization because banking organization cannot expose those API. So that's why we have integrated those API.
Yes.
Okay. So if you need to test that application, what you will do? Because keep that in mind because whenever we are pulling or whenever we are refreshing that banking
Mm.
API used to be called and that related to the price like every refresh they ask for some money like paisa or
Yes.
something like that. So how you test all those things as a third party API?
Um, Actually, it's a high level question for me
Mm. So just
because
think about
last.
it. I mean, I want your thought
Mm.
of, your thought in this direction. Like what as a QA you can think of. Suppose this is the new requirement and you need to break this requirement to pieces and try to write test case. So what all things you can think of? Like, okay, this is a third party. I will test this application in this way so that I can categorize things, something like that. What all things are coming into your mind?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure
Okay.
like that, but I know the testing
Just try it
concepts
right,
and
because this is the mock interview. Just try it. Try it.
okay. Just I will do the uh, first initially I will using the get API to the user details I can I, 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 I I can readable or not I can get or not. So after that for the testing purpose only I will do some changes in the particular user. For example,
Okay.
if I'm a user of I'm getting the user details from the get request, so
Mhm.
he is having some certain his details will be displayed.
Mhm.
So for example, his first name, last name, or mobile number, or city of living. So
Okay.
that kind of things I will try to change by the put request next. So again I'm going to check with the get request it will be changed or not. For example, I'm going to change the
Mhm.
mobile number I'm going to change using with the put request. So after the successfully my request was passed, then I will test with the get request again the same user whether the user details was changed or not.
Okay.
So then after I will try to delete that user
Got it.
after
Got it. Got it. That
okay.
is fine. Okay. So next question is related to the some theoretical thing of testing.
Mm,
Uh, Suppose somebody is asking you. If I ask you like to how many test cases you give me.
okay.
Let's take the object like window. So
Okay.
I want you to give me as much as many as test case in
uh,
1 minute related to
uh,
that related to just a second.
okay.
यहाँ से कर लो पहले आप यहाँ से लगा दो सीधे नीचे. इसको बंद भी कर देना. ठीक है. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no issues.
So my question was, you have to give me as many as test case
Okay.
for window in in 1 minute. So just start. Like what all test case you can think of regarding any window that you need to test.
Uh, for window means
I mean, window
not.
means whether it's a wooden window or steel window or something like window, not the system's window,
Okay,
the
okay.
the, the real world object. Like, yeah,
So,
start.
yeah, can I get a scenario for the window?
I mean,
You,
just
you
think.
are
I
asked.
mean, this is. I mean, you can take that. I mean, the cupboard just next to you, besides you. You can see that and just start giving me test cases of those.
Okay, okay, okay,
Any
okay,
window you can take, like.
okay. I will choose the sliding window. Okay,
Hmm.
just say sliding window. I will choose.
Hmm.
So, for
I'll
my
count.
first.
I'll count those test cases. Start. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Uh, First, I will. The window will be visible or not in my
Next.
room.
Next. Next. Next.
Next, the window can be able to slidable or not. It
Next.
can be forward or backward.
Next. Next.
Then
Next.
the Windows locking system will be perfectly working or not.
Just give me one word. I mean, this is how we will be. I mean,
Okay, okay,
counting the test case. Next.
okay,
Three.
okay,
Hmm.
okay. If the rainy seasons or some other in the summer season, it should not allow the rain or heat should not allow inside the room.
Next.
And the window will be transparently visible or not outside the um, thinking
Yes. Next. Next.
outside
Next. Yeah. Yeah.
and the window will be having our preferable design or not.
Next.
And the window color code will be I will check.
Next.
And the window design will be I will check the panel like that.
That is already completed.
Oh, sorry.
Eight. 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 You have 20 more
Okay.
seconds.
Yeah, 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 sure, sure.
Hmm.
And the window grill will be made by steel or wood like that. I will check.
Okay. Okay. Let's consider
Um,
this. Okay.
yeah, sure. And the window grill um, screws and that kind of revert system will be perfectly
Next.
locked or not.
Next. Next. 10
Um,
second. Yeah.
yeah,
9.
10 seconds.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Time's up.
Then,
No. Okay.
yeah.
9 window. Test case.
Okay.
9 or 10. Let's consider. Okay, at the end of this interview, I'll give you one trick and
Okay.
you can identify, you can give at least 50 to 60 test cases in 1 minute. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I that's why I'm noting down all those things so that it will improve your thought process in
Okay.
this direction. If let's right now we have taken the example of window, maybe it can be pen, mobile, or anything else. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'll give you one tip. I mean, using that tip, you can write multiple test cases. Okay,
Okay.
now uh, uh, some basic question is regarding what is the difference between sanity and smoke.
Yeah. The sanity testing, if a new build was coming, so regarding the bug. which one if we created a bug now, so
Mm-hmm.
developer will fix the bug, one new build will be coming. So what changes they have changes in the new build, that particular area only we are going to test, that is called sanity testing. And
Okay.
smoke testing will be we are checking the overall impact area or critical places, we are checking overall the application, that is
Okay.
called smoke testing.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I'll come to this point. I mean, at the last of this interview. Next
Okay.
is like, what is the benefit of doing regression testing?
Yeah, regressive testing is basically called end-to-end testing.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can confirm we are doing one round of testing with testing with all functionalities, and what are the tickets we are working in the particular sprint, or before it going to release.
Mm-hmm.
So we can check all the test cases and all the functionality we have implemented in the particular feature. So we can become a concrete idea. Yeah, our release is completely
Mm-hmm.
stable or not.
Yes,
So
yes.
that things we can come to the solution.
Okay. So suppose you have an application to test. Okay.
Mm,
And what your manager is saying to test this application within 2 days. And you know that you are the only person who is going to perform the testing,
okay.
and you need to execute the whole regression suite of 500 test cases. But you know, like, as a person, I can only execute 100 or 150 test cases in a day,
Yeah.
and the second day we can only complete 300 test cases out of 500. So what is your strategy in testing that application and giving a QA go ahead within 2 days? So what's your strategy?
Yeah, my strategy will be I will first figure out the test cases. For example, um, if we having low priority test cases,
Mm-hmm.
which means uh, the UI related things, and
Mm-hmm.
some other color code things, or like that. So the spelling mistake things. So that will be I will move to. um I'm not completely ignored this kind of test
Mm-hmm.
cases. I will switching my mind. We will test these kind of test cases will be later.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, we will test the functionality and um, the critical points, critical places. So
Yes.
that test cases only I will first finished.
Yeah. Nice answer. Okay. One more question is related to.
Okay.
So, are you working in a service-based company or product-based?
Yeah, it's a service based.
So, let me ask you a question.
Mm.
So, suppose you have, I mean, again the 500 test cases,
Okay.
and right now
Mm.
this is the third time when developer is sending the same build, and you need to
Okay.
again execute your 500 test cases. But
Okay.
again, we have only 2 days to complete it. But your client is saying, I want the report of whole 500 test cases rather than the high priority or low priority. But you
Okay.
know that if you will execute those 500 test cases, then it will take more than 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So what strategy you will be suggesting to your manager so that you can communicate the same thing to your client? What strategy you will suggest? Okay, I'll do this and I'll communicate the same thing to the client, like, we are having this is all XYZ. So what all things you I mean that are coming in your mind, you can suggest your manager so that you can convey the same message to your client and he will be happy. Okay, yeah, I believe on you guys thought process, you just do that. So what you will do?
Oh,
Because at previously we were talking about some internal strategy, your manager
okay.
asking,
Yes.
but right
Yes.
now we have to
Yeah.
deal with the client,
Okay.
and we have received the same bill thrice, It means to say there were some issues previously, but right now, and we have spent a lot of time in that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Um, just thinking about that.
Okay. Just
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure on that.
okay. Just think about it, like communicating to the communicating the same thing to your manager and
Yeah,
communicating directly to the client. What are the differences, or what are the things that you will keep in your mind while communicating to the client?
yeah. I have a one. W- um, I have a one answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know it which is correct or not.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I try to ask some more time from the client, or because these are the uh, very high test cases. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't. I will explain the situation first to the client, client or manager something.
Mm-hmm.
So if they will, if they are accept that, I will get some more time to complete these test cases and will give the report.
Okay. And what will happen
Mm,
after executing 500 test cases, or suppose you prioritize your test cases up to 300,
okay.
you remove those low priority or trivial, I mean less priority test cases, and you found out 300 test cases are enough to
Mm,
certify that build, and we can certify the quality of that build. Okay.
okay. Okay.
But after executing those 300 test cases, you found that 50 test cases are failing
Okay.
again.
Yeah. Okay.
At this time, what you will do?
Yeah.
You
I
will, I
will.
mean, but your client is very strict this time. I mean, he has already seen a lot of thing, and I mean, your project is getting delay, and right now still
Mm,
we have 50 defects. So what you will do in this situation?
yeah. Actually, we cannot. I obviously am going to create issue for that, or bug for that,
Okay,
because we cannot deliver with the defects now. So
correct, correct.
um, obviously we need to create the bug for that, and once it will, all the test cases will be passed now, then only we can provide the bug.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, provide the build.
Report to the, yeah. So let's consider one more point.
Mm,
So in those 300 test cases, your 100 test cases are automated.
okay.
Okay, and you
Okay.
know that, I mean, in 2 days are sufficient for executing those 200 test cases plus the
Okay.
automation suite which contains 100 test cases. So I
Okay.
mean, we are in a good position.
Okay.
Okay, first day we started with the automation, but due to some environment related challenges, we are
Okay.
unable to execute it. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
next day we started with, I mean, first day we started with the manual testing, and
Okay.
that is fine. We have completed
Mm,
100 test cases. Next day, 100 test cases manually and the 100 automation test cases that we need to execute. While
okay.
you are executing your test cases manually, you are good with this. Okay, you are
Okay.
executing and things are fine. But at the very last hour, you got to know that out of those automation 100 test cases, I mean, 50 test cases are failing.
Okay. Can you
And
repeat
right
one?
now we have only 2 or 3 hour, two
Okay.
hour to report to the client that we are able to finish our test case execution. But right
Mm,
now we are in a situation where 50 test cases are failing
okay.
just because of some XPath issue or latency issue or timeout issue. But as we have only 2 hour to check them, so what is your strategy? Are you going to check those 50 failing test cases, or how you are going to go ahead with it? Like, what is your thinking?
Um.
Because right now, I mean, we were thinking like automation will be executed and it will save our time, but right now what is happening, automation is saying that your 50 test cases is failing just because of some xyz issue in your xpath or network error, something like that. But
Okay.
we are not in a situation to I mean, retry that build or retry the automation, because we are on the very
Actually,
last hours to report the client. So in
yeah.
that case,
Actually, yeah. Previously, the automation was running perfectly, and later it was
yes,
not.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think I will go uh, with the CI/CD pipeline like that. So
Okay.
actually,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have experience with the CI/CD pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So the CI/CD pipeline, we can. I know the overall idea about that.
Mm-hmm.
So correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
yeah. So what we can do now, we can
Mm.
automate our scripts with the CI/CD pipeline. So
Okay.
it automatically run the code, and we will get the result uh, uh,
Okay.
through the mail or
Got it.
like.
Got it. Yeah.
And
So,
we, yeah, sure,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sure. So in the meanwhile, we have some more time to test the manual testing
Okay.
for the other test cases.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how much you rate yourself in Java out of 10?
um, 7 or 8
Okay.
because
And
8.
in Selenium?
Yeah, Selenium 8.
Okay. Okay. So, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Um, how to execute the same test multiple times in Selenium?
How to test multiple times, you are asking.
Yes. How to execute the same test multiple times?
um, I will using the looping concept.
Okay. How?
So yeah, in the looping concept we have three different methods:
Mm-hmm.
for loop, while loop, and
Yes,
do
yes.
while.
I'm fine with the loop, but what is your strategy? What algorithm you are going to implement in that logic? So how you are going to, I mean, execute on what basis?
For example, I just say one one scenario which
Mm-hmm.
will I have already used. So for the one scenario is calling. I'm going to order something in the e-commerce website. So, but for I'm choosing one pant in the website,
Mm-hmm.
but I need three set of pant. So the plus icon will be there. So we can increase the quantity of the item. So I'm not going to um,
Mm-hmm.
click that UI in 3 times or 4 times. So I taken the driver dot click that element. So inside the loop, I will paste the code.
Okay.
So in the loop itself, I have give the condition. It will be click the 3 or 4 iterations, whatever we required. So that kind I will loop the scenario.
Okay. 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 And have you heard about listeners?
Yeah, I learned about, but I'm not sure about that listeners.
Okay. Great. So if I talk about like which extent, which report you are using in your framework, which type of report?
uh, Actually, before I'm not using that report. I will get the manually only. I am checking whatever result is coming in the console, or it will be passed or not. That only, I'm not using
Okay.
the reports, extent report
So
particularly.
how you communicate to your manager or your team that you have executed these 10 or 20, 30 test cases, and how you share the report? Which tools or mechanism you are following to share the status of your automation execution?
Yeah, actually, in my organization, we are in my previous organization also. I'm not sharing these kind of things. We
Okay.
will. we will updating myself, and if once it will completed now, I will close my ticket, and I will update in the group, or in my Slack group, or in the stand up call I will update
Okay,
itself.
okay. So that is all about this interview, mock interview.
Okay.
So let me start with the feedback and
Okay.
what you can improve in this
Okay.
cycle.
Just a minute, I will note down that.
Yes. Hmm. So first thing is like third party API. I mean, let me categorize this thing into two parts, or you can say, just a second. First one, the positive part of it, okay,
Okay. Okay.
and second one, I'll not say negative, but things to be improved.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay, so the positive part of interviewing you is like you have that confidence. I mean, you are able to explain things whether they are correct or not, but you have that that confidence to explain things. You are
Okay.
exploring, or you are trying to get the answer of those things. So that is also a positive thing for a QA. You are asking question to the interviewer, that is again a quality of a QA, because as a QA, whenever something is assigned to us, we used to ask question.
Okay.
Let's take the example of requirement. Whenever somebody is saying to test this application,
Yeah.
we blindly do not start testing it. First of all, I mean, that's why a layman and a professional tester, there's a difference, because a professional tester used to identify the gaps, used to find the used to ask question like where is the requirement. If requirement is not there, then he will chase the person like product, who is the product. If requirement or story is not there, he'll ask the peers, he'll ask the developer what is what is the functionality of this module. Even if nobody is there, developer left the organization, product manager is busy or something like that, your peer is not there or something, then that guy start exploring that application on the basis of his or her experience. So that is a again positive thing that you are asking question. Next is like you have given good example of Sanity, and yeah. So let me tell you the question that you have. I mean, you were confused about those questions. First thing
Okay.
is third party API. Okay, so
Okay.
obviously you, I mean, you are not exposed to that third party API testing. So just
Mm.
think about it. Whenever somebody asks you a question, okay,
Okay. Okay.
so if you do not have any idea about that, suppose this is the pen and I haven't seen any pen yet. So what
Okay.
I will see, I will start imagine or start thinking. So I'll take 1 minute to think about it.
Okay.
Okay, just pause, think about, and then start explaining.
Okay.
Okay, so in third party API, you can, or you could answer something like that.
Mm.
This is my application. This is interacting with third party API. The
Okay.
interaction, the integration point need to be tested. What data is coming and going that we can test.
Okay.
How this API is behaving. As
Okay.
I have mentioned that this is a, I mean, this is a price API. Like every time if we call this API,
Mm.
there is some charge that been implied on it. Okay,
Okay.
so how you can use that. And
Okay.
testing third party API is like sometimes this is API is up, sometimes it's down,
Okay.
because this is the banking application API
Yes.
and
Yes.
we do not have any control on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this direction you can think of something like, suppose on Paytm you are going to recharge your mobile.
Yeah.
Obviously when you are going to recharge, it will be associated with someone's else API, the
Yes.
payment gateway or something like that. Payment gateway
Yeah.
might be someone's else, Mastercard, Visa or something like that. So
Mm.
whether that thing is up or not, whether they are taking a lot of time, so all those things, the response time, throughput, those all things you can think about it, and I mean, at least give the word of those points. Like I can think of the response time or something like that. If you are unable to explain, there is no problem, but at least you are trying. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Second part is test case writing. So test case writing, if I will ask you to write any test case, so I have created a video where if somebody, if 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 an interviewer asks someone or a candidate to give me 20 or 30 or 50 test cases
Okay.
for any object, so I have created a video where you need to categorize that item or that module or that application into few parts. So I call it FRUEMP, through MP. It mean to say, F means functionality, because as a tester we used to test the application in two ways: functional
Okay.
and non-functional. Correct?
Yeah.
So functional means whatever the functionality of the application. In our
Okay.
case, the window, the functionality is like open, close, slide, or whatever. Okay. So if I talk about FroMP, F for functionality, R for reliability. You can, when I say reliability, it means to say how Windows is behaving when somebody is throwing something on it. If we, start pushing it very hardly, what is happening to that?
Okay.
If we start opening multiple times, what is happening to that? So that is the
Okay.
reliability of that. R
Okay.
means to reliability. F
Okay.
R U. Now come to U. U is usability.
Okay.
How we can use this? Handle is there or not? Size of
Okay.
the handle. Okay. Handle
Okay.
position. If it is at the top or the bottom.
Okay.
U. E for efficiency. How efficient? Is it taking a lot of time to slide or open? It
Okay.
is smooth. It's height and all those things.
Okay.
Usability means attractiveness, understandability. If this is a window, somebody asks you, okay, where is the window? They are easy to identify that, whether it's a
Okay.
window pane or something like that.
Okay.
And M for maintainability. If I want to maintain that, clean that window, I am able to do that.
Yeah.
And P for portability. If I'm going to replace it, so this is how you can categorize those things, and you can write n number of test cases. Okay.
Okay.
So this is because if somebody asks you, somebody give you a real world object to give you test cases, I
Okay.
know sometimes it will be very difficult to start giving the test cases in 1 minute, because of, we were not in situation to at once give the answer of those.
Okay.
We have a thought process and we think about it and then explain. But
Yeah.
using a strategy will, or ultimately gives you a hands up or a thumbs up to start thinking in their directions. Let's
Yeah.
talk about functionality. Usability. Okay, you're thinking usability. Okay, I can write something like that. How people are using it, what is the height, width, length, color, and all those things. Made
Mm.
of glass, steel. Okay, replacement, the screws are there. If screws are not there, handle, plastic handle, and xyz handle. Okay, so this is how windows are coming in there. If there is any, hole in that window, how we are going to maintain it.
Mm.
Air is passing or not, what is happening when hot air is coming, or something like that you can start. Okay.
Okay.
So next is like smoke is sanity. So uh, you need to little bit brush up the basic knowledge of manual testing. So when I
Okay.
say smoke and test sanity, the smoke is very basic.
Yeah.
It is something like I purchase a mobile or purchase a device and just plug in,
Mm.
and smokes comes out. It means to say we are testing the behavior, whether it's like you suppose you are going to purchase a bulb. What that shopkeeper used to do, used to plug that bulb and check, okay, it is lighting, then he used to give it to you that this
Mm.
bulb is working, and he noted down something like that on the bulb.
Okay.
So this is like smoke testing. It's very generic. Only main feature will be tested,
Okay.
only the bigger one. If I talk
Okay.
about the application, if developer is giving us the build, what we will say, what we will test, we will just open the website. Is it, we are we able to open it, or each and every tabs are opening, how much response time is there. So this is how
Mm.
smoke testing works, very generalized.
Okay.
Sanity is specific. The answer that you're given, sanity, is correct. It is a subset of regression. And in sanity we used to check the what all fixes they have done in that current build. We used to check and measure some major functionality of that.
Mm.
And once sanity is passed, we used to say, okay, we can test this, we can take this application for regression testing.
Okay.
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 uh, Next is like ask client and publishing, I mean sharing the report. You have given I mean, good answer. Like
Okay.
obviously, if I consider or the discussion with the client, we will never lie to him like, okay, we have 50 test cases that were failing. We tell them, okay, everything is passing and just share the report.
Mm.
So the thought process that you have given is very correct, that
Okay.
you will show the actual thing, you will prioritize your test cases, and on
Okay.
the basis of that you will execute those. So that is, I'm very fine with that. Next is like CI/CD thing. One important point that I want to share with you: if you are unaware of CI/CD, okay,
Okay.
like you've said, I don't have working knowledge in CI/CD,
Mm.
but you have to give some realistic thing, like you are talking about running test case again using CI/CD.
Okay.
Okay, so that is fine, but you need to little bit conscious or caution about the things that you don't know.
Okay.
Okay, now come to the automation part. When I ask you, I need to execute. So when I ask you how much you rate yourself in, so you, I mean, you said 8 out of 10, and for Java 7.5 or 8, something like that.
Mm.
When I ask you, so what impression that is coming out of that ranking in my mind is like you are a good candidate in automation or Selenium or
Okay.
Java.
Okay.
But when I ask you, how can I execute the same test again? I know the logic that you are giving, the looping strategy to loop that test case and everything. But in test ng we have invocation count,
Okay.
and if we provide the invocation count, then you can, if we provide like invocation count as 5, then your test case will execute 5 times, 6, 7, 8, whatever number you want to give. So first thing is
Oh.
like you need to understand some principle of test ng and listeners.
Okay.
Okay, listeners. And one more important point: if somebody asks you a straightforward question, do not try to explain too much,
Okay.
because whenever we are having any interview, that
Mm.
interview will be happen for only 30 minutes or 45, 1 hour maximum.
Yeah.
And if you start explaining things that much, then it will waste your time as well interviewer. Because
Okay.
suppose, I mean, suppose he has to take 50 I mean 20 or 30 interview in a day,
Mm. Okay.
in a walk-in or something like that. What will
Mm.
happen? He will never think, okay, I mean, I want that candidate to talk point to point, but he's explaining. I know you are explaining in right way, but start putting the only start mentioning the specific point only. Do
Okay.
not stress
Sure.
too much. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
And uh, yes, so that is all the feedback from my side. Okay.
Okay.
And I mean, it was very nice talking to you. It is very
Okay.
nice talking to you.
Okay.
You have to little bit I mean work on automation, and then
Okay.
you are in a
Sure.
stage to crack the interview.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Anything you want to share, like?
Yeah. For I'm asking you, how much you will rate for me, out of 10?
Okay, so okay. So whenever I used to take interview, I used to, I mean, that's why mock interview is very interesting, because whenever the real interview happen, you never get the feedback. The interview
Yeah.
used to say HR will get back to you. HR will say we will get back to you, something like that. But we
Yes.
are not in a situation that somebody can suggest us, okay, what I need to prepare. I mean, where I am wrong.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that is our problem, because nobody used to tell us, I mean, okay, you need to improve this. If they find out any mistake, just let us know, na, we'll improve
Okay.
that. If we are
Yeah.
not improving, it's my problem. But
Yes.
at least somebody should be there who can tell us, who can guide us, okay, you are wrong at these three places. So let me talk your communication skills, that is good. Your technical is below average, that you need
Okay.
to improve. Manual
Okay.
one is good. I'm not saying
Okay.
very good, it is good.
Okay. Okay.
Overall, the I mean, completely, if I say, recommending to next round will be difficult
Okay.
because you have mentioned manual plus automation.
Okay.
Okay, so think, if you start explaining in automation more or start reading about automation, definitely you can crack that interview. Only 1 or 2 month preparation for automation,
Okay.
definitely you will crack any interview, because the way you are giving the answers, I was very pleased to that. I mean, even at very start of the interview, I thought like this candidate is very good, I can
Okay.
refer it, I will refer him to somewhere. But
Okay.
when we start with the automation, then you
Okay.
start, I mean, maybe you doesn't have that working knowledge, or you haven't exposed to that much automation, so
Okay.
that could be the issue. I'm not
Mm.
demotivating you, but
Okay.
I can see the progress in you.
Okay.
Okay, so just start working on automation, definitely you will crack any interview. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Abhishek,
Hmm.
I need to ask you one more thing.
Hmm.
Do you have any preparation document for the interview? You have any interview questions or like that?
Yes,
So
I
which
used to publish those document. What I mean, whatever question I have faced in my experience, or what all I have collected so far from
okay.
other guys. So I
Mm.
have, I mean, I used to publish those document on my website, where you can
o-
find
Okay.
the possible question. So why I am publishing those things? Because I mean, suppose you are working on automation, or you start
Okay.
preparing automation, you got
Mm.
confused at a point, like, okay, this test case is failing at this point, how can I fix this? I tried too much, but I'm unable to resolve because my mind is stuck into that, or I
Mm.
stop thinking in this direction. So somebody is there, should who can help me, or who can get me out of this problem. So that's why I pushed all those interview questions. You start
Okay.
working on it, you
Okay.
can ping me directly, or you ping
Okay.
on the channel of wherever you want, and we
Okay.
can decide it, we can resolve a problem.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so this is, I mean, and that is, everything is right now free.
Okay.
That's for you, because I mean, even I am, I mean, devoting my time to skill you guys, so that you can crack your dream job or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm not selling anything. I do not believe in selling anything.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that is, anything else?
Yeah. May I know your website
Yeah,
name?
I'll ping you right away. I mean, just reply on that telegram,
Okay.
DM me, and I'll ping you. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.